This video is going to show you how to type in your debt into the supplemental worksheets. This again is very simple to start out, and what you're looking to do is just type in what loans that you folks have. If you have student loans and you have multiple student loans, make sure to put in each one as a separate line item, as well as if you have multiple car payments and those kinds of things. If you remember in the budget, John and Sarah, for example, might just have car payments as a combined line item for the budget, knowing that they're going to spend about $525 in car payments each month. But if for the sake of the debt, it would be important for you guys to put each one separately. So let's just say that both Sarah and John have student loans, um, maybe two each. So student loan number one, student loan number two. I'm going to write student loan instead of student loans. And that would cover both of John's loans. And then we have student loan number three, which is one of Sarah's, student loan number four, and then they have car payment and a second car payment and maybe some credit card debt. So let's just say that these are all of the ones that you have for your loans. This is the debt that you have, and you owe, I don't know, $4,500 on the first loan and only $2,000 on the second loan, but the third loan is $8,000, and the fourth loan, student loan, is somewhere in between. We'll call it $5,000, and there's one car payment that is $18,000 left on the car, and another one has $7,500 left on the car, and the credit card payment isn't too bad. You only have, say, $1,000 in credit card payments, so, or owed on the credit card. So you'll see that John and Sarah have $46,000 currently in debt. So it's going to be important that you set up the payments as well, because as you see, you budgeted for 400 for student loans and 525 for the car payments. So in this case, just make sure that once you type in your actual payments, that these aren't above what you budgeted, because you're going to have to go back to your budget and make sure that you type in exactly what you're going to be paying each month on these loans. But for the sake of argument, let's just say we have four loans and they're all $100 a month because they're all combined, and it takes $100 out of them evenly, and it's $400. And for the first car payment, it's $325 a month, and on the second car it's 200 a month, and the credit card payment is about $100 per month. So again, this is something that you would do a little bit of research just to make sure that it lines up with the budget. So there should be about $525 in car payments. Credit cards, your minimum payment is $100 per month. So that's $1,025 of your budget, which is pretty substantial. And many people find this, just in credit card debt or just in your debt alone, you'll suddenly start to see that, $1,000 of your budget, or about 25% of your budget, is simply on paying off your loans, which is why it's so important to crush your debt so quickly. But the other thing to add is what the interest is on these loans as well. So, these could be 4.5, and maybe one of these, a couple of these are bad. 60% would be really bad. We'll go 6 and 6.8%, and the car payment. One of you had good credit, so you ended up getting something like 4% on a car payment, but the other one didn't have very good credit, so you maybe had more like 8%, and credit cards are never very good, so we'll call that, 12% uh, APR on on the loans. So that's how you fill this in here, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth as to how to prioritize those. But essentially, my recommendation, as I mentioned in the book, is to start with the loan that has the highest interest rate, which would be your credit card, and that would be the first priority to pay off. And then you would work from the highest APR from there. And then if you find anything that has the same amount of interest, you would want to pay off the one that has the most owed. So using this as an example, 8% is the second highest interest, 6.8 is the third, and then we have one at 6%, so that would be the fourth one you'd want to pay off. But you see there's two here that are at 4.5%, so we'd want to pay off the 4,500 first, and then that one, and then our last car payment would be the last of our debt that we'd pay off. And again, that's all based off of in my mind, paying more interest. If you have two different pieces of debt that have the same amount of interest, but one is twice the amount that you owe, obviously you're going to be paying more interest on that, compounded over the amount of time. So you want to get that down quickly, so that you aren't paying so much more in interest. So that's how you set up your debt sheet. And if you wanted to take it a step further, you won't be able to see this on the screen, but if you highlight the section after you've prioritized, you can go to data and click on sort, and another window will pop up right around here. You might not be able to see it right now, but you want to sort by the monthly interest, largest to smallest, and then you add a level, and it's based off of how much is owed. Sort on values, order largest to smallest, and then you just click OK, and you'll see that it automatically typed these in. The final thing I'll point out is that it'll tell you how long it would take you to pay off these loans, over the course of time. So at the moment, it would take Sarah and John about, on average, about 4.5 years to pay everything off if they kept the payments as is. So this can be expedited very quickly, but this is just how you can set it up.